Um, in my house, right, if an outsider was to come in that didn't know us at all, everybody would think that we hate each other in our house. Like sometimes the way I talk to my wife is awful, absolutely terrible. But we just live in this perpetual bubble of sarcasm. Hey, welcome back, Blade. Whoops, my bad. um, Proxy's acting up. Yeah, no worries, buddy. I've had about enough Twitch nonsense. Each time I'm working, I need to relog. Shit, because the proxy needs the IP and everything. Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying then. Yeah, no, we live in a perpetual state of sarcasm in this house. Like, we call each other horrible bloody names. And we do it because we're always laughing. We're all, you know, laughter is the best medicine. I can't remember who it was that said that. It's a famous person that said it, but it's true. Laughter really is the best medicine. Don't take everything too seriously. Everybody seems to take everything too seriously these days. You know, I don't know. There's so many controversial subjects out there that you shouldn't really go near and talk about, and I won't. But sometimes, like we live in this culture now where everybody's so easily offended over everything, right? And that's fine if you're offended, but at what point did your offence at certain things, and I do say certain things here, right? So, and I'm also not going to quantify what I mean by that because I don't want to lead into any camp. But since when did your offence become a worldwide problem? You know what I mean? I'm offended by everyone being offended, and I demand they all stop. Yeah, exactly that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, and it's like, well, I'm offended by stuff. I think I've said this loads of times on here, and like I said with the TV and stuff, there's certain things I don't like watching. But you know what? That's the great thing about offence and choice. You can choose to turn it over, and not watch it. I mean, obviously there are things that are universally offensive, and that I get. I don't expect everybody to be able to go around and just make everybody feel uncomfortable for the sake of it. But I also think, on the other hand, is that everybody shouldn't have to walk around on cracked eggshells and have an opinion and be constantly outed for it. You know, we we should all have the ability of agreeing to disagree respectfully. I think sometimes I bang on about stuff too much, and it's because the way maybe I look at the world through older eyes because I am older, obviously. But it just seems so obvious to me, like common sense. Common sense seems to be the most rarest commodity we own these days. I did just see your comment come up here, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Just give me a sec here. What's this? Last time I checked, they're not a country on this planet that has a clause that grants everyone the right to not be offended in their constitution or other governing documents. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And you know what? Right, I'm also a great believer in history. Okay, because we learn from history. I'm not saying that history is right. I'm not saying that history is just, and I'm not saying that history is fair. Right? But the thing is that it's happened. You learn from it and you move on. It's like I equate it to this. I was trying to explain this to somebody of the younger generation. Christ, I sound old. And they were moaning about having up statues of these tyrants and stuff that were doing stuff in their personal lives that they shouldn't be. And I get it. I understand it. But what I turned around and said to him was this. I said, you play games, right? And they said, yeah, I do. I said, what kind of games do you like playing? And they said, oh, and it was fortunate they actually fell into my lap. He said, I like playing games like Hades and what was it, Eternal Ring or Ring Eternal, whatever the bloody thing's called, Eden Ring, Elden Ring. That was it, Elden Ring. So I said, so you like roguelites, right? And he was like, yeah, I like roguelites. I said, okay, so the premise of a roguelite, forgive me if I'm wrong, is that you try until you fail, and then in that failure, you come back stronger, right? And you learn what not to do next time. And he was like, yeah, it's just part of the game. I said, now equate that same equation to life. Only what you're proposing to do is that we erase completely from everybody what we did wrong. Well, what happens to the next generation when they don't have any kind of frame of reference of what's already been done before them? I said, what happens then? Well, I don't know. I said, well, do you think it's reasonable to assume that at some point, and we're talking like generations on now, right? It's reasonable to assume that somebody might think, oh, I got a good idea. I don't want this happening there, so I'm going to do this. Or, you know, have another Hitler. Or, you know, another Stalin or whatever. I shouldn't probably be naming them, but. And they were like, well, we'll just know. And I said, and how do you know? Well, because you taught it in school. I said, but my point is that it's taught in school, right, for the purposes of showing you a difference of opinion for one, and to also give you some kind of moral compass as to what was right and what was wrong. And he was about ready to argue with me again, and then he sat back for a minute and he just went quiet and he went, you're absolutely bloody right. And I was like, I know. And I wasn't being conceited. It was like, yeah. Oh, my missus is calling. Trace, I can't answer the phone. That's how I'm looking at chat. I can't answer the phone. That's how I'm looking at chat. Okay, hang on. What's it? It's rare when Mark is right about anything, to be honest. Oh my God, Max, how you doing, buddy? It's really nice to see you in here. Get all the tips you can, buddy. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to shout down to my wife. Hang on. Can we get a nice big juicy fat shout out for Maximum TV, please? Such a nice guy. In my opinion, more people need to realize that this guy is out there. One of the nicest guys I think I've met in a long time. I know I say that about a lot of people. It's because I'm kind of blown away by how many nice people I've met. But I've known Max for quite some time now, and I've been to his streams a few times, and I've seen his community, and I honestly, truthfully believe that he deserves more recognition and more exposure than he's actually getting. So, if you could show him a little bit of community love, just drop him a follow. It costs nothing, but it encourages all of us content creators, streamers, and whatever else. No, it's true, buddy. I'm usually mucking about with you and slating you and whatever, but it's true. You are such a genuinely nice guy, and you'll do anything to help anybody out. Oh, I've got another code coming in. Sorry there about this, everyone. My missus. I'm gonna have to. I'm just waiting for a code to come through, and then we should continue on. And there we go. Right. Okay. hopefully we can get back uninterrupted now. But how are you doing, Max? You doing all right today? How did your stream go last night? It looked so much fun. That girl that you were streaming with, she seemed lovely, really nice. Okay, so we're going to get on to number 15 now. And now, because I got interrupted twice by my gorgeous wife, who I don't mind interrupting me, I don't remember what I was saying, but it was probably prattling on about something or another. I think the takeaway we can get from all of this is be nice to everybody who needs to be nice to. If you've got a friend you haven't spoken to for ages and you're thinking, oh, he can't bother to ring me, or she can't bother to ring me, I won't bother to ring her, don't think like that. Maybe that person right now is sitting there thinking, I'd love to talk to somebody, but it's been so long since I've spoken to them, I don't know what to say. So you pick up the phone. You be the one to contact. And you know what? If they blow you off, then you know you ain't got to do that one again. So are you, Mark, even though you yelled at me for robbing my jewelry store twice. Well, you know, Mark, when he sees yes, yeah. Well, you know, I just honestly, I love all people. I don't care. You know, there's just I just I just want everybody to be a bit closer. You know, laugh at that. That's exactly the way I feel about people. I'm sick of always being the one to reach out. It makes me think they don't really care. Exactly. So just, you know what, when you get blown off by somebody, right, that you've taken the time to contact, they obviously they don't want you in their life because they are your friend. They want you in their life because you are their convenience. You're there for them, but they're not there for you. What's this? Pretty Days has been there since day one of streaming. Came in as a total stranger, and now she's pushing 50 months. Wow! Oh, she's amazing, mate. Honestly, I followed her straight away last night. Not just because she's female or whatever else, and she's got a really nice voice, and you know that had nothing to do with it at all. She just seemed really funny and really nice and genuine. And you know, she's clearly open to helping out the less fortunate. I couldn't be nice forever, Max. I'm sorry. But yeah, so just honestly, this goes for everybody, you know. Don't just sit back and not call your friend. And if you're depressed and down and whatever else, and you're worried about them judging you for being depressed and down, then were they really your friend to begin with? Or do you value them as a friend? Because friends will listen to you no matter what. And a friend will tell you when you're right or wrong. And if they don't, they're not friends. I've always been that guy that will tell you when you smell. I won't just, you know, shout it across a room or nothing. I'm not a complete twat. But I will tell you when you smell. Because if you smell and you don't know, everybody around you who doesn't know you is judging you. And they're taking the mick out of you behind your back. Right? I'm coming up to say it to your face. Not because I've got big balls or anything. You know, I'm doing it because I don't want you being judged by backstabbing people. And if you do know about it, then you know what? We'll sit down and have a conversation as to why you would allow yourself to walk around like that and work out what's wrong. You know, why do you have such a downer on yourself to not care about your appearance and the way you smell, and try to help? And we need more people like that, a bit more honesty. And I don't mean being nasty. You know, there's constructive criticism, and I believe it's something that we all need to take more on board than we actually do. Did you see the clip I put in your Discord from last night? I did. Do you know what? I didn't. I see you post it, but honestly, Max, last night I felt terrible, mate, and I couldn't sleep when I come into your stream. Right, and I did fall asleep afterwards, and that's no joke, and it was nothing to do with you, right? But When I come off, when I said to you goodnight, right, I didn't even turn my computer off. I literally passed out, fell asleep. It was so weird. So I will take a look at it. I'm not streaming all day today. I might see if I could do a bit of Ignite RP because I've been loving that place. I might stream that later on. But I just want to come on here. I was feeling good, and the last videos I did with my paint by numbers were really depressive and down. So I decided, like, I wanted to come on here and just to show myself, selfishly, that, you know what, you had a bad day the other day and you sounded like you had a bad day and you were all down and depressed. Well, here's your video diary, bitch. Today you're feeling good. Remember it. That's basically what I'm doing now. And you know what? Because I forced myself to do this, I've caught up with so many nice people. Furious is in here now. I've actually got to have a conversation with her. Pitbull's always in here, and he's such a lovely guy. He really is. You know, I've had Blue. He's finally caught me on doing a stream now for a while. We finally had a catch up. We got Heavy Tactical Pig. We got we had Bradley in here earlier on. I don't know if he's still here and lurking. He may or may not be. But these are just the people that I'm remembering that are in here so far. And if I've missed anybody's name, please don't take offence. It was your walk-on sound alert too, Sally. I was laughing my ass off because I genuinely forgot which I'd say it to. Yeah, that was a good one. I have to be. I need to do that. I need to do that for you. I need to have it so that every time you type in here, it says something. I thought you were about to say Blue is always here, and I was going to say that's a lie. See, I try not to lie as well. You know, I care about people's feelings, but I'm also caring about my own feelings too. Like I learned ages ago to be more honest, right? And I give you my for example, are you back with food? But yeah, have you got food? Have you got your lasagna, or did you do something quieter? So the reason why I decided to be more honest was my ex-wife. She made me a dinner once, right? And I'm not going to lie to you all, it was fucking awful, absolutely awful. I hated it. And I sat there because she'd spent so much time out there cooking it and whatever else. I was like, oh, that's really nice. Oh, yeah, you know, lovely. And then when we'd finished it, she said, did you enjoy it? I said, yeah, I did. I enjoyed that. Thank you very much. For the next 4 nights, and this is not a joke, this is the truth, for the next 4 nights, I had the same bloody dinner over again. And in the end, I turned around and said to her, okay, I got to tell you something now, and this might offend. And this is the God's honest truth. This is not just a joke or a setup for one. I promise you. I said, I've got to tell you something now. I said, that dinner is absolutely disgusting. And I've eaten it now 5 times in a row. Don't ever cook that again. It is disgusting. And she got all upset and whatever else. And I told her, I said, what are you getting upset for? Oh, well, I stood out there for ages and cooked it for you. So it's, right. I said, it's not that I don't like that bit. That bit was really nice. Thank you very much. And I will always appreciate it. You know I will. Well, what's the point in me eating something that's making me feel physically sick just to keep you happy? And then she went to go back and she sort of stood there and she was like, okay. Yeah. So, and then whenever my wife now, she makes something, I like, she spends hours over it and she's sort of sitting there looking at me like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And I go, there's a little bit too much salt in that, or there's not enough, or that was perfect. Other than the fact that the greens were slightly overcooked, so they were mushy and whatever else. And then she said to me, well, why don't you ever just give a compliment? I said, I am giving you a compliment. The dinner was great, but if I don't tell you what was wrong with it, every time you do it, you're never going to realise, oh, actually, maybe I should do the greens a little bit less. Now, I grant you, people could see me as a bit of a misogynist or as a bit of a nasty twat, or perhaps even controlling. I'm not doing it for any of those reasons. I'm doing it because I know that, you know, once she knows it, it'll never be a thing anymore. And everybody gets perfect dinners. Maybe I'm the one that's wrong there. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my head, like I normally do. But it's just the way I've been. But you know what? Whenever I do anything and I turn around and say to them, "Well, what do you think of that?" Or what's your opinions on this? And they come back and they go, that was a bit naff. And it was like, yeah, I kind of agree, to be honest with you. I was thinking that myself. And then, you know what? Whenever I do it again, I do it differently and I do it better. It kind of goes into a bit of the perfectionist side of me, I guess. Yeah, the stream was terrible. No, I completely agree. I completely agree. And the reason why I'm so happy for you to say that is because what's wrong here is you, Max. Because if you was good at what you were doing with streaming, you'd realize that this is a good stream and yours is the bad one. So now I've educated you on that. In future, you're going to be better, right? Shit, Drew. Max is just brilliant. He's so fun and he can take a joke. I mean, he has to. If you've ever met him, you'd realize. But he's such a nice guy. He really is. He genuinely is one of my favorite people that I've met on GTA. I'll call the paramedics. Yeah, get him to get a vat of Neosporin, right, for the burn. That's another good thing about me that I hope I get back soon. I've always been really quick-witted, really quick-witted. Like it's very rare for you to get one over on me. I pride myself on that. And people don't generally tend to spar with me because of that reason. But obviously, when I'm on this medication and stuff, and I'm not feeling too good, I'm not up to spec, and then I can get taken advantage of. Max is just sitting there thinking, this mother effer. Just once. I'll get him one day. Is it me, right? Or is this flower just taking forever to do? Like, I feel like I've been on this battle now for hours. Actually, how long have I been streaming for? I have been in here for an hour and 24 minutes. Also, oh balls! I just put paint over my monitor. That's not good. Also, my weight loss that I've been doing has been going incredibly well. I've lost about 10 stone now-ish. But for the last couple of months, I've actually gone up a little bit in weight, and I don't know why. It's not like I'm eating loads of crap food and whatever else. And it's been some time since I've actually seen any kind of real weight loss. So my wife has been doing something without telling me. She's been doing this fasting thing where she can only eat for 8 hours in the day. So I decided today that I'm going to try that. So because I generally can't sleep late at night, and then it's difficult for me to fall asleep when I feel really hungry. So I've left it till what I think it was 2 o'clock this afternoon before I ate, or even had a cup of coffee or anything. And
you look a bit parched. Why don't you take a drink?
Thank you very much, Miss Pitbull. Bit late, but thank you very much. So I'm going to give that a try. I've done it again. Put bloody paint in my monitor. I'm going to give that a try and see what happens, because I really need to jumpstart it, because I was losing a lot of weight and I was enjoying the weight loss and feeling better and stuff. And as I've told you all, I've got a long way to go. And it's demoralizing when you're doing all the right things and you're not seeing any kind of reward for it. So I figured, what's it going to hurt to try? So that's what I'm doing. such a nice colour. This. It's not. I'm looking at the monitor now. It's not the right colour. That actually looks like mauvish. There. Well, Mark, I'll refer you to my notepad and roast you another day. Gotta head back to it. No problem, buddy. You enjoy the company. You know, the ones that are forced to be with you. Love you, buddy. Have a great day. And I will speak to you soon. Oh, dear. You gotta laugh. You really do. Right, let's get this little area done. So we got a couple of 20s. Let's get into them first, I think. You two, good luck in watching this, everyone. Best viewed on mute. So, Max, you're not on your stream now. You're on mine. You don't have to give that advice. Bless him. He gets stuck in his ways, you know. It's like he's used to doing something. So, best to view me on mute. And poor sod, he forgets sometimes. He's getting old now. You can't just turn his back around on him, Mark. That's unoriginal at that point. Well, no, this is very true. This is very true. But, you know, it's also baby steps for him as well. Right, let's get this number 20 done here. So how's your cat, by the way, Blue? How's he doing now? Is he a he or a she? I don't remember. And have you bothered to start to grow your awesome beard back, or are you still beardless? 2 boys. Oh, nice. Look at me being a giant idiot, Max. They're good. Still rascals, but very lovely. Yeah, I'd love to get a cat, but I've got too many dogs, too many animals, full stop. I've lost my number 20. There he is. What about the beard situation? Any more 20s in there? Nope. I don't know what I'd do without them. Who comes and cuddles under the blanket? Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. Honestly, I've got a Chihuahua, Chicky, that we call her, and she sleeps with my wife the whole time. She's very protective of her as well. But she comes in for treats from me, and she sleeps under the covers. And as soon as we turn the bedroom fan on, she's normally up on the pillow. As soon as the bedroom fan comes on, she's like, nah, not having that. Going under the quilt, let me in. And you have to lift the quilt up to let her in, and she goes down and she sleeps under the quilt all night. And if you ever get up to go to the toilet, she just pounces on you, no matter how tired she is, when you come back in, and gives you loads of kisses. If say, oh, I've missed you since you were gone. You were gone for so many days, weeks, months, and years. I got a haircut the other day and afterwards trimmed the beard down to match. Oh, exactly. Overall happy with the length. Excellent. Good. Yeah, I was disappointed when you shaved it off for your reasoning, because you was like, as I remember it, you was like, people don't necessarily like it or something. It was, I'm always of the camp, don't care what other people think. I'm sure it was you I'm sure it was you with the beard that said that. I could be wrong though. Like I said, my memory's not what it used to be. I'm blown away by chat today. Thank you for that gift. That was such a nice thing for you to do. Like honestly, you have no idea how much that means to me. Beards are not hot. Excuse me. I have a beard to a certain extent, and I am incredibly hot.